Hello, guys. I hope you can hear me and see me. It's almost 9 p.m. in Ukraine, in Kharkov, Ukraine, and I have decided to choose this late time so that our subscribers who live in different time zones can also watch this live stream live and not in the recorded version because usually I try to do the live streams during our working hours and some of our subscribers have to meet them. So I have promised them to try to choose the time that can work for them and can work for me as well. So I will try to open the same stream on my computer so that I can track your questions. Because filming from phone, I can't actually check the questions and see the stream at the same time. So I will try to do it at the same time. Give me a second. Yes, I can see it now. I will be able to see your questions on my computer. I will be able to read them there and I will be streaming through my phone. So it's trickier from home than it is from my office. Sasha, our dear operator, I already miss you dearly. And we will keep filming videos with our operator, of course. Of course, for live stream, I can't do that. So anyway, like I have promised in the preview, today we will speak about texting, and I will give you some tips how to flirt with the Ukrainian lady by texting, because even if you have met her through the matchmaking service or offline in the street, or you have met her through friends, but you live in different countries, there will be a period of time when two of you will have to keep in touch, will have to build your relationship by text, and you will have to build this flirt and special anticipation by messages. I want to point out from the very beginning that right now we will speak about the situation when you have actually met in person. The situation when you met her online and you're exchanging texts, it's a different scenario. And I will remind you that online it was created to expand your pool of candidates, your pool of search, and the end goal is to bring your online acquaintance offline. So if you have met her online and you are texting for, I don't know, like months, and every time you bring up the idea to meet in person, she keeps pushing it, declining it, and comes up with an excuse why she can't or she doesn't want to meet with you offline. Well, that's a dead end. Like the best case scenario, she wants to have a pen friend or something like that, but I doubt that's what you are looking for. So, anyway, we are talking about this scenario when you have met offline, you had a few dates, and you return back home, and you face the situation that you have to start texting. Usually, ladies are way better in texting than guys are. Why? Because by nature, ladies are a little bit more flexible. Hello there. And I can't say that they are more creative, but I can say that they try harder pretty often. With gentlemen, they don't take texting way too seriously, and it has ended so many relationships. Hello. Hello there. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. So anyway, there is this huge mistakes that many foreign gentlemen usually make with Ukrainian ladies. They expect the lady to text first. And in Ukrainian society, in our culture, the lady will still expect the gentleman to be the first one to text. And so often I have to convince ladies to be the first one to text, to be the grown up in this relationship, in this acquaintance, and to be the first one to text him to ask how was his flight back home. And for many ladies, it's like such a huge step. It's such a complicated thing to do, to text first. Like in our societies, ladies still expect the gentleman to be the first one to text, regardless how old she is. And so often, after convincing her to be the first one to text, if, for example, the gentleman is not texting her back, like straight ahead, or like she has to wait like the day or half of the day, she keeps telling me that, oh wow, like Svetlana, I have told you I shouldn't have been texting him. I shouldn't be the first one to text him. Like he should have texted me first. So when you are in relationship, especially on the early stage of relationship with a Ukrainian lady, be ready that you will have to lead in texting. Be ready that pretty often it will be expected that you initiate texting. I know that right now you can tell me that, oh, so many rules and it should be easier. Dating and building relationship, when you do it in a smart way, it's not that complicated, but of course there are some rules that you will have to follow. There is a question about gentlemen from Swiss making dating mistakes. I wouldn't tell that there is like a tendency that Swiss gentlemen make and other gentlemen don't. So let's return to texting. Another really popular mistakes that so many gentlemen tend to make are they don't understand the importance of timing. For example, she has texted you the photo of herself, and the gentleman does not react immediately to the photo. If she has sent you a photo of herself, of course, she expects a compliment. She expects a reaction. When she doesn't receive a reaction, her first idea is that, oh, he didn't like the photo, he here doesn't find me that attractive, or he doesn't care. Try to put yourself in the position of the lady when you have sent her a picture or a question or just a message and she's not texting you back. What are you thinking? Probably you are thinking that, oh, she is not that interested in me, she's not that into me, and she has more important stuff to do, and she's not serious, she's not interested, I'm not important to her. Ladies feel the same way. If she has sent you a text and you're not texting her back, she will assume that you're not that interested in her. She will assume that she is not important for you. And it is a not very good position to put your love interest, romantic interest into when she feels that she is not important. Another really important mistakes that guys tend to make while texting with ladies, they are not creative about texting, and pretty often like the gentleman sends to the lady like good morning and in the evening like good night, and that's it. So it's like exchanging of good morning and good night. And when I tell the gentleman that, oh, you have to be texting, you have to be communicating, the gentleman is telling me that, oh, but we are texting, we are communicating. And when I ask the lady if like they are texting and communicating, the lady tells me that, not really. Like he has sent me like something like good morning, and that was it. So texting and communication by text, it should be interesting, it should be entertaining, and it should make you feel special. How often do Ukrainian women enjoy texting? Every day or every few times over a week? I can't tell you that there is an exact number, but if the lady believes that she is in relationship or she is building a relationship with a gentleman, I would say that the majority of ladies will like it if they receive a text every day. It doesn't mean that you have to text all day long, like we are all adults and we have a certain routine, we have jobs, we have hobbies, and we need time for ourselves. But a message every day should be a must, because if she doesn't receive a text from a gentleman, if she's not receiving those texts, she can assume that he's not thinking about her, that she is not important for him. So texting should remind reading a very interesting book or watching a really interesting TV show when you can't wait to watch what is in the next series, when you're thinking about it, when you promise yourself that you will read 5, 10 more pages and then you'll fall to sleep, then you will put the book down and you will go to the office, you will fall asleep, whatever you were planning doing. But you get so caught up in that book or in that series that you keep watching it till 3 a.m. With texting, it should be the same. She should be anticipating the next message from you. And when all messages are like, hello, how are you? Or good morning, uh, it's not that interesting anymore. It's not that exciting anymore. So it is important to come up with interesting topics. It is important to challenge her with your text. It doesn't mean that you have to discuss physics or classical German literature or classical Russian literature, but it should be exciting and it should be new. So it is important to bring the topic that she will be thinking about all day long. So, how to choose such topics? How to understand that this is something that she will be interested in? By listening to her. If you have spent some time together, I'm sure you have learned something about her likes and dislikes. And we all like discussing things that are in the circle of our interests. So, if, for example, during your meeting she was talking about a certain book or about a certain TV show, or a certain author that she really likes, it would be nice to start watching that same TV show that she is watching or to start reading the same book so that you can discuss it by text. You can ask her questions like, for example, what does she think about this TV show or about this character, or which other books by this author she has been reading? What are her thoughts about that? If she is into cooking and you know that she is into cooking, you can send her some links to interesting cooking sites and you can start discussing that. It is important to choose a topic that she finds interesting and that you have some interest in as well. Usually during the conversation, if you want to start to to deepen this conversation, you start asking questions, yes, about something the person has mentioned, and you can choose which areas that the person has mentioned actually are interesting for you. Same with texting, you can initiate the question that will lead you to the topic that you know she likes and you have some interest in. TV show is good subjects to talk about. Yes, you can talk about TV shows, you can talk about food, you can talk about traveling. If out of a sudden, for example, she doesn't like any TV shows or she doesn't like any books, it's hard for me to imagine things like that. It is always nice to try to dream about something. You can tell the lady that if you had a chance to travel anywhere in the world, where would you travel? Like, which place would you choose and why? And then she can tell you that, oh, like, for example, I would go to Paris or I would go to Japan or I would go to Australia. Why would you go there? Why would you choose like Paris, for example, not Italy? Or why would you choose going to Australia? It doesn't mean that you are making exact plans about traveling there, but by discussing dreams, you kind of get to know her better. You understand where she comes up with her dreams and whether you can relate or not, and you can start dreaming about it together. You can learn more things about her. Sometimes guys bring texting to a very I would call it low level, like it's like, hello, how are you? What did you do today? Like, I have woken up, I have brushed my teeth. So he's given her like a detailed list of the things he has done in the morning. And he expects what? Like her to give the same detailed routine, like what she has done. And let's face it, pretty often, really, we really don't do anything super exciting during the day. Right now, during the lockdown, when we have to stay at home and limit our communication with other people, pretty much what do you do at home? You wake up, you have some tea, some coffee, you work from home, you do breakfast. So you don't do anything new and exciting. And many guys tell me that, oh wow, like what should I speak to her about? I'm not doing anything exciting. Like it's always same things. But again, it's like same things for you and she doesn't know you that well yet. She hasn't lived your life. She hasn't been into your apartment. She hasn't seen like your neighborhood. So even if you will start telling like tiny bits about your everyday routine without making it like extra boring, without going into too many details, this all will be new information for her. So even if, for example, you didn't do much except from going to the grocery store, you can tell her a little bit about your area where you live. Like how far is the grocery store? Do you usually go there by bike? Do you go by foot? Like by foot? Why do you like that grocery store in particular? Like what makes it different from other grocery stores in your opinion? Like what is her favorite grocery store? Why has she picked it? Because it is close to her home, because it is close to her office, because she likes the variety of product there. And then you can start talking about food. Like everybody likes food. Like, do you cook at home? Do you go out to eat? Like, what is your favorite cuisine? Like, what do you usually have for breakfast? So, texting is a really important part. By sending those little messages, you kind of show the person that you care, you kind of show the person that you want to get to know her better, and you open up a little bit more yourself. Sometimes guys tell me that, oh, like we are in touch, we are texting regularly. Like she has texted me yesterday, and I have answered her today because I didn't have time yesterday. And then I'm asking the lady like whether you are texting, like whether you are in touch regularly, and she tells that no, we are not, because in her opinion, if he hasn't texted her the same day or the same evening, the connection is lost. She has asked him something, he hasn't answered her back, and the next day she doesn't even remember what he has asked her. Like she has to scroll through that story. And that's not a nice thing. Are there any questions? No, it looks like you're just listening to me. I hope it's not that boring. So, guys, texting is a very important part, and I always recommend my clients that you have to come up with a few stories that ladies like, some stories from your experience, or maybe some jokes that you can use, especially at the early stage. Because with text, sometimes she sends you a text, you receive it, and you understand that, oh, I have to say something witty, or I have to say something cute, or I have to say something romantic, I have to do this or that. You understand that this is what expected, and for example, you are in the office and you can't come up with a story right now. If you have like a joke that is a good one, you can use that joke, or for example, a compliment that is a good one. If you are thinking between like answering her straight away, or like just ignoring it till the time when you have enough time to think it over, it is better to text her that like, oh, like thank you for the message, so great to hear you, but right now the work is like so hectic, or I'm so busy, but I'm so happy to hear from you. I will get home and I will text you. And if you have promised her that, you have to text her when you get back home, or when you have the free minute. What is wrong with male texting, especially when it comes to international dating? Guys expect ladies to lead. Guys expect ladies like to send photos. I hear it pretty often from guys that, oh, we have been texting, but she's not sending me photos. Like, I want to have more photos from her. Like, she keeps answering. It is important, first of all, to make sure that you are on the same page. If she considers you her boyfriend, she'll act one way by texting, and she will feel more comfortable with sending photos. If she doesn't consider you her boyfriend, she will act differently. What else is important? You want to have some photos of her, you can start sending photos of you. You can start sending some videos, like giving an example, and starting the certain pace, starting the certain lead, encourage her to act in a similar way. What else is important by texting? It is important not to make it a routine. Sometimes when I recommend clients, for example, not to forget to wish her a good night, or for example, to wish her good morning, knowing the time difference. It usually works in a good way when, for example, there is 10 or 12 hours of a time difference, but the gentleman still calculates the time, and the lady usually wakes up, and she wakes up to the message from you like good morning. It's always romantic, and ladies like this scene. But if you will keep doing it for like 5 weeks in a row, just texting her good morning, it will get old very soon. So it is important to be creative about it. Sometimes guys think that, okay, I have sent her a good morning at the time when she has woken up, I'm a good guy, like I did the right thing, so I don't have to do anything else. No, like you have sent her good morning, but how about text during the day? Like when you're texting, she has to have a feeling that you're here, present in her life, that you're not really too far away. You're just in her phone. So these texts, they have to be anticipated. They have to be really special. Think about the situation when you're having like a really boring day or a really complicated day emotionally, and then you receive a text from your friend or maybe from your family member, and something simple, something cute, and out of a sudden your mood is so much better. Like your text with the lady should have a similar influence on her mood and on her day. Um, what else is important about texting? Sometimes guys are like sending those texts, I don't know, like they think the more the better. And when you scroll through the story, you see that there are like 25 texts from him and like nothing from her. When you are texting, think about it as the ping pong. You send the message, she has to send you the message back. You send the message, she send the message back. So when you manage to build like a dialogue, a ping pong game, uh, that's a healthy scenario. When you scroll through your messages and there are like tons of messages from you and tiny answers from her, like smiling faces, and that's it, that's not a good scenario. Guys, are you following me? Are you with me? It's kind of strange to talk to the phone. Hi, Tatiana. I see a message from Tatiana. It's very strange to be talking to the phone, to be honest, and it's so much easier to film videos in the office when I see our operator, then I have a feeling that I'm talking to a real person. Texting is a very important thing if you consider international dating, because for sure there will be time when she will be in her country, you will be in your own, and this long distance stage of relationship, it can either be super romantic and super memorable for you, or it will be a total disaster that will kill your relationship. Many couples that we have created over the years, after they have moved in together and have settled down in same city, in same country, they actually tell me that they missed the time when they were corresponding. Why? Because it was super romantic for them. One of the couples that we have matched, they have 3 kids now together, and they are like for 5, 6 years. 6 years they are together, and the lady told me that yes, they were texting, but usually when she returned back home from the office, her now husband was on the way to his work. So they have coordinated this time, and they were usually on a video call while she was driving from her office to the home, and he was driving to the office. And on weekends, they were cooking together. But she was cooking dinner and he was cooking like brunch, and they did a video call so that they could have so that they can cook and then have this meal together. And she said that it was a really cute time because like all day long she was like throwing glances on her phone, looking if there is a message from him. Well, she was really looking forward those messages. Another couple that we have also created, they were doing little videos for each other. So she would film something nice and send it to him. And then when he will receive that video, he will film the video answer for her. They had like 12 hours of the time difference between them. So it was hard to do like video calls or to talk on phone during the working week because their working schedules were way too different. But they had managed to build this special routine of making funny videos for each other. And now they are happily married, but they still do like cute videos. When, for example, he's in the office, she will make him a cute video and send it. So it's like they are seen. So while texting, while building this long distance relationship, the most important thing is, the crucial thing is to build this special private routine that just two of you will understand and share. So there can't be like the exact standard. For one couple, doing fun videos would be like a good idea, while for other couples it won't work. What else I wanted to tell you about texting? Text shouldn't be general and standard. And I'm sure you know that in Ukrainian culture and in Russian culture, when people ask you, how are you, they actually expect an answer. So it's not the way of greeting like it is in the US when you walk in the store and people will say, hi, how are you? In Ukraine, when people ask you, how are you, they expect an answer. So when you're asking this, the lady will start telling you how her day was. You take it for a real question. So when you're asking her how she is, if she really cares, she will give you an answer like how was her day, what she is doing. It's not just a polite greeting. Of course, when you talk to someone who is not a close friend and whom you don't know well enough, you won't be telling much things about your day. So it would be strange to tell all this stuff to a stranger. So if your relationship is still new, you can control how it is growing by the amount of information she is giving you about herself, about her everyday routine. Should I try to text in Ukrainian? That's a very interesting question. Like in Ukraine, the majority of people are actually Russian speaking. If you speak about the eastern region, about south of Ukraine, in the west, of course, people speak Ukrainian. So, as a person who lives in the eastern region, I find it quite strange when people start texting me in Ukrainian, especially using Google Translator. The translation is very bad, and also why Ukrainian, like in Kharkov, people speak Russian. Of course, if she is from Lviv, for example, she lives in Kiev and she's Ukrainian speaking, you can text her something in Ukrainian, but using Google Translator, better do it in English. Like if she considers international dating, she should speak some English because those Google translators, there are so many memes and jokes around the internet about foreign guys who try to text Russian-speaking ladies in Russian or Ukrainian-speaking ladies in Ukrainian, because translation is like it's ridiculously crazy bad. Hello, Svetlana, and good evening to you. Question for your clients wishing to learn Russian or any other local language. What is your recommendation? Get a tutor. I think it requires too much self-discipline to learn the foreign language all by yourself, though I know people who have managed to do it. But still, I think like hiring a tutor is always a better way. Right now, there are like so many classes online on YouTube. For sure, you can do that. You're right, the lady should speak English if she is doing international dating, but from what I've seen, many girls either don't speak English or very little. I don't know where you're looking for them. Uh, if you refer to paper letter dating sites, maybe. Of course, a lot will depend on the age group. Like, to be honest, we have matched people or who did not speak the same language, and they are happily married. They have managed to overcome the language barrier, and they were very creative about it. I think I have told this story in a few videos about a couple. They were both in their 50s, and the lady, she didn't speak any English. The gentleman, he didn't speak any Russian. But they have created this game whenever they went, she could carry like this stickers of different colors, and she would write, for example, for him like 5 to 10 words in Russian, and she would place those stickers. For example, she would write a book, and she will place the sticker that says a book, книга, on the book. Then she would write something like names of the dishes, and he would write the same thing in English. So they would play them all around at the table if they're in the restaurant, and they would teach each other new words. When our couples, younger couples in their 20s, I have shared this same story to them. They have started teaching each other nasty words using same stickers and the same idea. So that was their scene, and they were using it. It is important to find this your scene, your special something that you will yours in your relationship that you will play around. Ladies who do not speak English, yes, it can be that she doesn't speak English, but she, for example, has decided to expand her pool of search, and she considers international dating. But I would tell that you have to have a good reason to consider international dating. And if you have never been abroad, or you don't know any foreign languages, and you have never met foreigners, why on earth are you interested in international dating? Like, I would doubt reason of such a person. I don't use paper letters inside, but I'm seeking a woman between 27 and 35, so I have encouraged very different language. Yes, the levels of English would be very different. I agree with you, and it's not easy to find people who speak the language if she's not working for an international company, or for example she's not she doesn't have a university degree. How could she learn the language? Of course we try to recruit ladies who speak English into our base, but if you will go randomly around streets, maybe you will have to invest more time to meet people who speak the language. But among our clientele, we tend to attract many ladies that know the language. But of course, when you're looking for a life partner, you have to keep in mind that you're looking for a person and not for a set of skills. You're not looking for an interpreter. Hello, why many dating sites they speak any English? Are they scams? I don't know. I'm not using those dating sites, but if the lady tells you that she can talk to you only on this dating site because they offer her an interpreter, it sounds bad to me. It sounds rather like a red flag. The lady really likes the gentleman. There are ways around. You can use Google Translator, other programs. They are not of a good quality, but you can do that. It's not like you can't translate something right now having a smartphone. Svetlana, do you think it's okay to travel to Ukraine this summer? I hope so. I still have my tickets to travel in June. I haven't canceled on them. So I had to give up tickets and my travel plans in April. I had some plans to go to Europe, so I had to cancel that. So I think we have time for a question or two. I hope it was useful for you. All my discussion of texting. It feels strange to talk to my phone, not to talk to a real person. I don't know how bloggers do that, but I remind you that I'm not a blogger. I'm the matchmaker with 12 years of experience. And our blog has started as an idea to teach people more about international dating, educate people more, to show the world that there is more about international dating than just paper letter dating sites. And it's such a huge cliche that all ladies in Ukraine want to date foreigners. I think I did a few videos where I gave some statistics to show that it is really not so. So this blog was and is an adventure, and I really appreciate all your questions, all your support, and I'm always happy when people who are not our clients send us emails and tell that, for example, our dating tips have helped them so much in their relationship with a Slavic lady. Thank you. I'm glad you like this format. I really think that blogging is not an easy task after trying to do it on my own life. First of all, because it's tricky how you have to put your phone so that it can have the good picture and you can still read the messages. And also, it's tricky to be talking to the phone and not to a real person. So guys, I have time for 2 more questions and we'll be done for today. You have been doing a great job. Thank you. Like I have already told you, like neither myself nor my team, like you have seen our executive director Katerina in some of our videos, our cupids, our psychologist Alessia, none of us are bloggers. So we have decided to start this blog as a professional matchmaker, as a professional team of cupids, as a professional psychologist to share our experience. So blogging is a new experience for us, interesting experience, exciting experience. Since since you seem not to have any more questions, I won't keep it too long because I know that some people will be watching it in the record, and probably I'm rambling for too long already. I want to wish everybody a great evening. I'll finish my tea, and I hope you are using this time to maybe learn another foreign language, to improve your flirting skills, and to write books. Happy Easter to everyone. Thank you. I have celebrated Easter on this weekend. Traditionally, I will send you the heart and I will wish you a great evening and a great continuation of the week. Bye, guys. Oops. Yes.